What's up, everybody? Welcome
Hell,
to the Long Tom Lounge. It's Tuesday night. We get together and play Caverns and Klombos, my take on LEGO Dungeons and Dragons in Fortnite Odyssey. And this is the lounge, and sometimes there's cats. So, uh, if they make a cameo, that'll be great. Tonight we're doing something a little different. Once we get things rolling here, we're gonna do a K and K Q&A. You folks in chat are free to ask anything you like about the game, about our characters, and we'll do our best to answer those questions. Um, and then we're gonna do a little bit of playtesting in world, and you know, also, the players will be able to ask me anything, and I have some questions for the players I want to ask as well. So, without further ado, I'm going to check out the item shop because it is 8 p.m. Eastern time after all. So, I mean some new stuff, some non-Lego IPs that we will not get characters for.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Spicy. It does sound like we can hear your breathing, though, just to let you know.
How's
Uh,
the echo?
there's no longer an echo as far as
Okay.
I know.
This is week 47, right?
Yeah, crazy, right? We're coming right up on hey, Zarya's in the shop. For those of you following along at home, our big bad is this fellow right here, Zarya the Cruel, a tomato-headed warrior aligned with dark energies. And here's his little Lego version.
And his name has nothing at all to do with pizzeria.
That's right. And then here is Sir Burger. I've mentioned him in past streams. He is obviously Burger Boss or Beef Boss, excuse me, but wearing a knight's helmet, which is just amazing. But yeah, it doesn't look like there's a lot of exciting things in the shop for me tonight. Ooh, tonight's fun. What's up, Trone? How are you?
Good, what's up, man?
Chilling. We're checking out the shop. Oh, did you guys know I have
No
a support
Mando yet,
creator
right?
code? I haven't got to the top yet. Ooh, Agent Blanc. He looks cool. He's like a black and white Spider-Man almost. His Lego's kind of weird, but I like his actual BR skin. Let's see. AWR Trooper, Han Solo, Luke Skywalker, Leia, Dagobah, Luke, Stormtrooper, Mace Windu, Obi-Wan, but I did not see a Mandalorian yet, which is unfortunate because I am looking forward to that for sure. It's supposed to be customizable apparently, so. But I'm suspecting we'll get a bunch of that stuff on the 15th, actually. So, fingers crossed for that. Oh,
Been saving my V-Bucks.
right. Turn on the other light here in my living room so everybody can see how ugly I am. But all right. Now that we have done that shop thing, we will hop into K and K. And we can start this whole shebang. Let's see. Again, here in my loading screen, I set this for Kaverns and Klombos so everybody can be forever reminded who the bad guy is. Let's see. We got a couple people in chat already. Welcome to chat. I unfortunately had top chat sorted instead of hey, look at that. All right. I just turned on timestamps. I don't know if that will will change anything, but it's kind of neat. Um, yeah. Okay, this is right where we left off. So just as a brief overview and synopsis, Caverns Klombos, based on Dungeons and Dragons. Lots of little punny things like that going on in the world. But our players, uh, these individuals we find before us, are all part of this world now that we're currently playing in called Playwelia. And the story of Playwelia is long and storied, but the gist of it is once upon a time, the first person to arrive um, created the world, or the world was created around them. And with them came, you know, aspects of, naturally the duality that, you know, is seen throughout the universe. So the way it was described was he was the light, but his first footstep cast the first shadow. Um, and then certain aspects of this follower or arriver rather, um, were personified by a group of other individuals who joined him. And those newer individuals chose one side of the duality and he represented the other, which brought a cataclysm to the world. Um, History was lost, but it forever scarred the world with a dark energy. Hey, Surya, welcome to the chat. Um, Now, that dark energy uh, attracted other dark energy to the planet, which introduced technology and certain aspects of that reality to the inhabitants of Playwelia. Um, Certain things that they had never considered before. A lot of stuff technology-wise, obviously they'd never seen or heard before. Um, at one point, the war that drove that darkness to Playwelia in the first place, their war followed them here, and they were driven out again. And that loss caused the red skin tomato people to try and reconnect with that source of power and energy that they had, discovered through these uh, uh, visitors, if you will. And in doing so, they brought about a second cataclysm to the world. Um, Now, in between these two events, we have the story of the Seven and the Darkness. The Seven were heroes that rose to fight the darkness. Two of them ended up being corrupted by it, and five heroes that were left sacrificed themselves to seal this darkness away. Some of our players were summoned to the world through rifts, dark magic, because they were variants of those heroes of old, and they needed their essence in order to break the seal and re-release the darkness. And as we've been going along, we've been discovering, the history of the world. We've been discovering the lore, and most recently, been figuring out all that last bit about the visitors from the stars, and their introduction of technology and how that was perceived uh, by the inhabitants. Um, and hopefully, my recap didn't step all over Monday's recap, uh, but that's where we find ourselves. Hey, good to see you too, whichever one you are, Benandrew. It's weird the villagers like have speech bubbles now. I mean, it's kind of neat, but it's also I feel obligated to talk to him now.
Absolutely. And also, your recap actually fills in some of the gaps that my recap kind of left out, so I think it won't hurt at all.
All right, perfect. But yeah, darkness in this realm of Playwelia has been defeated by certain artifacts each time. Um, so we have just found the first of the artifacts. We're not sure how many there are, but if there was 7 heroes, there's probably 7 at least. And yeah, uh, what do you want to do a recap there, Monday?
Yes, please.
Alrighty. So traditionally here, every Tuesday we have the Mondays Madcap Tuesday recap, or Mondays Tuesday
Monday's
Madcap.
Tuesday Madcap
That's right.
recap.
Mondays Tuesday Madcap recap, and this is how it goes.
Last time on Kaverns and Klombos, our heroes, Monday, Musa, Spicy, and Brock, returned to home base to plan their next moves and sell off all their treasures from their recent vault adventures. After counting their gold, they met with the Onceler and shared everything they had learned. He led them to a new land, Pele Fel Offia, a dense and mysterious jungle. There they met the legendary Grandanena, an ancient living banana with a beard so magnificent, Monday nearly tried to set it on fire just to see what would happen. The Grandanena revealed that he's been rooted in this world since the very beginning, and hinted that other powerful beings like him may be hidden as well. He shared the origins of the world. A man known as the First Llama arrived and the world was generated around him. 4 friends joined him, but over time their good intentions faded around this. Over time their good intentions faded. Around the same time, a war in a faraway galaxy ended, and one surviving faction brought new technology and corruption to this new world. They eventually left, but their influences remained. In an effort to contact them again, people built acoustic resonators and many powerful structures, unknowingly inviting danger. The energy our heroes tap into are. Oh, sorry. It was also revealed that the energy our heroes tap into, arcane and holy mojo, actually comes from a singular mojo lost to this world known as science, tied to these ancient forces. The Grandanena taught the party how to sever the connection between the ancient powers that once roamed the land and their so-called mothership, or ship with a mother question mark. He pointed them to an ancient cave inside where they could perform their actions to advance further into their quest to sever the connection. Inside, they triggered the deadliest trap they have ever encountered and took heavy damage. And they survived. And it was also very funny at the same time. You should definitely go back and watch it. If you have not, it's a great episode. Anyway, they survived and fought off enemies within a series of ancient structures. They also found very powerful ancient magical weapons and artifacts. A magic axe, a magic dagger, an ancient lightsaber, and a magical shield. Monday was severely wounded but saved by Musa. The party left the cave stronger, and that's where we left off to tonight. Join us for a special Q&A stream to reflect, ask questions, and see if our heroes are truly on the right path, or if their actions are headed straight for complete and total chaos.
All right. That was awesome. Um, the only notes I would have is the the ancient lightsaber in Playwelia belongs to one of the 7 heroes, named Roma. She was a moon druidess, and as the legend in Playwelia goes, the blade is comprised of pure moonlight, um, and was the weapon that was used to sever Mortho, the evil wizard in the story's casting hand, rendering
Oh.
him unable to provide aid to Zarya, which enabled them to finally defeat him.
Oh, that is definitely a relevant piece of information. That means it would be called the Moon Saber?
Just the Moonblade.
Moonblade. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I will note that down.
I feel like saber is a specific shape, you know?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
The moon rapier, kind of. But yeah, no, the moon sword. Um, but a recurring theme in Caverns and Klombos is that of duality. You know, the opposing forces of good and evil, light and dark. Um, that is also true, coincidentally, about the artifacts too. For example, we have the Moonblade, and those of you who have been with us from the beginning, from when Martha and Zarya were released from their prisons, you guys have met that weapon's sister weapon, or brother weapon, perhaps, the Sunblade, which is, of course, a red lightsaber. Um, so yeah, we got that going on. But yeah, somebody should murder that thing over there. If Trone distracts it, then Remy and Monday can get behind it with their daggers and poke it in the spine a bunch. Pew pew. Hi-ha. See? Look at that. You punched him right in the spleen, Monday.
I think I also might have accidentally also punched Trone's follower, but
Yeah,
still
yeah.
respawn.
That's fair. You guys actually can dismiss the banana natives if you like. They they have provided their service diligently and faithfully, but now they have to go back to their banana wives. Later, banana dudes. Did they just run off into nothingness? That's pretty cool.
Basically. And yet,
That's
it's
actually pretty
still
neat.
the right way, no matter which way they go.
Kick rocks, banana dude. I want to watch him run and disappear. Oh no, they're over there. They're trying to get back to their house. They just ran into a rock. They're actually running home. That's amazing. All right. Um, so, um, do you folks have any burning questions or even just any, you know, curiosities about the story or about
I
what we're trying
I
to.
actually do have a question, but it's not necessarily related to the story. It's related to the meta of the actual game itself.
Oh, okay. Yeah. And that's something too. Like I don't expect tonight anybody to necessarily be in character or anything. Like we are 100% metagaming tonight. So.
Awesome. So yeah, I have noticed as a player for quite a bit of time now that when we are in turn-based combat and turn-based play, if we get respawned, there's a whole process of having to resurrect, go to the thing, get insurance, have a license to be respawned, all that
Right.
good stuff.
Right. Right.
So I have also noticed that normally, I'm not going to name any names, but me, I die quite a bit in
Yeah.
non-sequential combat. So like in the combat that is full action and not actually K&K mechanics.
Right.
And I was wondering how we explain how we like factor that in, because
Right.
I've died quite a bunch of times, but we haven't had to go through all the hassle of
Right.
like resurrecting me.
So in Dungeons and Dragons, when your character goes down, when you hit 0 hit points, you're not actually done. So for 3 turns after that, you know, each time your turn comes up for 3 rounds, you would roll to make a save and if you make your save, you know, which of course gets progressively harder, you know, the more times you fail it, to stabilize, which means that you're at 0 hit points, but you're not gone yet. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And during those 3 turns, the other players have the option to try and get to you or cast a spell or whatever to help stabilize or heal you. If someone can reach you and stabilize you, or if you make your own save, you're technically not dead. You're technically not despawned. You're still laying there on the ground in, you know, like the BR down but not out state, you know. You know, maybe not able to crawl, but you're just unconscious essentially.
So basically, even though I've respawned a bunch, I haven't actually respawned. I've just been down, and thankfully
Right.
enough, I have never respawned alone. I've never gone down alone. I've always been around the party, and they have been gracious enough to pick me up every time.
Right, exactly. So even if, like, you know, a brute does his splash attack and it knocks you out of your down but not out state, you know, because we have it in Lego too, obviously. Then you're still technically there. You know what I mean? So
Awesome.
now,
Thank you so much for the clarification.
yeah, absolutely. Now, say somebody wasn't able, you know, say you failed all 3 of your saves, and then also someone wasn't able to stabilize you. Oh, get out of here, crab. Then you would despawn, and that would lead to, like, in the beginning, when your bones had to be brought to the priest to have you physically resurrected, which, you know, is a standard D&D fare. It doesn't happen often, but, you know, sometimes it's a plot device, sometimes, you know what I mean? And sometimes you just want a new character, you know what I mean? So, I'm gonna armor up here since we're just running around in circles. But hey, Joe Mama, welcome to the chat. Our entire party died our first dragon, and it was over. Yeah, dragons are no joke. They are, yeah, they're just not anything that a low level party should face ever. Take that, crab. And probably Trone a little bit too. But alright. Serious said, I guess we were playing it wrong. No, it sounds like your DM was playing it wrong. Because that's one thing about this game. Your dungeon master, or as it's called in K&K, your cavern master, isn't supposed to be your enemy and trying to win, per se. So they should have put the time into figuring out if the objective was too hard or not. You know, there's challenge ratings and stuff even listed in most of the materials. So, yeah, you guys may not have done a single thing wrong. It's just a dragon. You know, they're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to beat them. That's so. Let's see. Does Joe Mama just popped in? Do you have any questions about Caverns and Klombo, Joe Mama? We're doing a little Q&A tonight, and just doing some easy breezy mechanics. That is something I would like to figure out, actually, guys, at some point. You know, like somebody get a charm on that only gives 1 armor, and then somebody get another that does 2 armor, you know, stuff like that. And see not only Hey, that used to do no damage. What's going on? Oh yeah, that doesn't work.
I do have a couple other questions, but I don't want to be the only one asking questions. So
Yeah.
just let me know when you want me to ask if you need me to.
Well, does anybody else have anything they wanted to clarify or questions about lore? Any game mechanics that we, have used or, something that we've been blocking? Anything that we haven't used even? Or maybe this guy will help you. Get him. Don't fight him, Spacey. He's your friend. But yeah, like I was saying, I want to see the, armor versus hearts versus the numbers that pop up to try and do exactly what apparently Sirius Dungeon Master didn't figure out. What is realistic for you guys, because I don't want to hit you with a legendary crossbow when it should have been a green one, or what I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, that's a yeah. If your DM ever asks you, "Are you sure about that?" you should definitely rethink your decision. But yeah, because those things are stuff that I can't really figure out on my own. I can, um, you know, you can say a sword does, 7 damage, or you can say a dagger does 3, but how does that translate? And we've seen, obviously, the difference using the same weapon against the individual party members, but it would be good for me to have an actual chart that I can then mess around with. And that might also, everybody's always wondered what the difference between, a frost villager and a grasslands villager, maybe there is, and maybe we'll figure it out by getting these numbers. So, yeah, we're caught up on chat. Remy, did you have anything on your mind?
Um, not so much.
Or your chat
Just
have
actually like
anything?
what um what what was the catalyst for you to decide to make Lego Fortnite Dungeons and Dragons, like a Dungeons and Dragons Lego Fortnite?
Well, to be fair, I thought when we got our first leaks and everything that we were getting pretty much that. I thought we were getting a little RPG, that style thing. And of course, then the weapons, all, swords and shields and, stuff like that. It seemed like the obvious direction for it. It was already medievally themed. It was already had, these different aspects. Um, and then the ability to build in it, of course, is crazy. And then I was in a Discord um, a while back, and one of the original playtesters actually, uh, in a chat in there, had said something to the effect of like, wouldn't it be crazy if there was Lego D&D? And I didn't, I had the idea, but I didn't think anyone would be interested. So I didn't put any work into it. And then all of a sudden I had people who were interested in playtesters, and so the work began. Um, and yeah, it was something that I saw as doable, and I wanted to do it. So I once I have a deadline for something, like it's gonna happen. So. But yeah, I guess to answer your question, just the game itself being set up the way it was initially, and then it just took someone else saying that they would want to, and I was like, I'm on it. So here we are.
Pretty cool. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Drone was
Is there going to be
eliminated.
a point with respec?
Is there going to be
Wait,
a point we respec, you said?
Yeah. Like right now, Harry Spellfail is an illusionist. What if I wanted him to be a diviner instead?
Hmm. Um, yeah, that's one of the issues with K and K, obviously, that we're going to run into over and over is the difference between a lot of things is just going to be a um, like description, because for example, like I can't do anything about the difference between like a magic missile and a icy blast. They're all a blaster of some variety. So respecking like that is really just like you saying so anyways. So if you now say that he's a whatever, then fine. Because again, it all comes back to the abilities that they have or don't have, based on their class.
Main reason being the ability Portent. You roll 2d20 at the beginning of every day, and you can modify any roll with
Hmm,
those 2d20.
right on.
So if somebody rolls a 1, you can make it, say, a 16 you rolled.
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely talk about changing your class. But like I was saying, or excuse me, not your class, but your specialization or whatever they call it in fifth edition. Um, your
School,
school
right?
of magic, yeah, school of magic. That's what
Yeah.
it's never changed. What am I talking about?
I'm just gonna,
Um,
sorry, I'm just gonna step away real quick for like 5 minutes. I'll be right back.
no problem. Um, but yeah, we can definitely talk about that. But again, most of that stuff is going to be descriptive. In actual game mechanics, there's not a lot of difference between like a warlock and a wizard or a
Hey, can I get a respawn? I
illusionist.
don't know where I'll respawn at.
Oh, I'm coming. See if I can get
Get
there.
me out.
And that's been honestly part of the problem for um, shoot, what was I going to say? Uh, oh, right, the subclasses for different archetypes. Because there's already these limitations that we have to deal with in game, in the game's mechanics. So, for example, like your rage instead is actually just eating food, so it gives you a couple extra hearts and, it allows you to take a little bit more damage, but, uh, like the different, you know, actual subclasses like Totem of the Bear versus Totem of the Wolf or something. You know what I mean? Like, there's not a lot that
Well, I got a
there can be
couple
done
of
for variation. So,
ideas on stuff like that.
right on.
Like
Um,
Berserk trait added to weapons of a frenzied Berserker barbarian, or different charms used for a Totem of the Bear one.
yeah. Um, which is fine if we only had that one class to balance, but it has to be balanced
Exactly.
against all the other classes as well, which is again, like the hardest thing to do is to make all this work right, and to still seem like D&D. And there's obviously way more you can do on paper than we can do in the like box that we are forced to work in here. If they add more items, if they add, like equipment slots or something, you know what I mean, then we can really, start making really more specific characters. But right now, with the stuff that we have, it's difficult. Um, I had thought about adding different runes to the weapons, but then we run into the problem later on of how do I give you a magic weapon now if all your rune slots are use, class abilities. So that's why most classes have only one or two abilities that they add to their weapons, and so that they can always fit, another, you know, what we can have four slots, right? So they can get another two, so they could have something that, was a dagger of quickness that adds berserk, like you're saying, or we could have, etc., etc. But yeah, and keep in mind too, you guys just recently leveled up to 10. That's only like halfway through the progression scale. So your characters now are half as strong as they will be in the end. And there's
That's so incredible.
a lot of systems
Okay, I'm
that.
back.
Hey, what's up, bud? There's a lot of systems that, like, for a monk in D&D, they can focus their chi or their ki and, heal themselves. So further down the line, actually, I think currently Monday has their first regeneration charm that is just part of their standard thing. And then the barbarian also later on down the line receives purple regeneration charm to reflect their ability to just shrug off damage. Um, so that's something to keep in mind too. Is we're only halfway there. So there's abilities that, based on your level, you might not have gained yet, or are just not noticeable enough to affect the gameplay. You know what I mean? So, but Remy, now that you're back, if your chat, I don't know if you're streaming tonight or not, but if your chat has any questions, obviously they're welcome to ask. If you want to be mediator for that. And
No questions yet. I did. There's a few of us in here, but
right on.
no one has asked anything yet.
Yeah, no pressure. But
I am actually lurking in Remy's stream right now, and I half wish I was on a different account so I could just ask really dumb questions.
right on. Spicy is actually one of our newest players. Just joined at the beginning of this whole vault search adventure. Haven't had a chance really to work a lot with his backstory or any of his character development or Spicy's arc if we did figure out one for him yet. But being the newest player, Spicy, do you have any questions about what happened before you joined, or certain things that seem obvious to other players that you're curious about?
I mean, I've been a regular watcher, so I mean, not so much, but
Right, right, right on. That's darn it. No, that's awesome. And obviously, I remember you being in all the streams and you saying in chat one night that you wanted to play is how you're here. So, um, definitely appreciate that. Um, so, uh, I guess I have a question for you guys. What is everyone's background as far as like tabletop role-playing games where like you're playing, your character, like D&D or any other stuff? How long have people been doing stuff? Um,
0 for me.
Zero. This is your
Yeah.
first role
Yes.
play, right on.
Oh man,
Uh,
too
yeah,
many to count.
yeah. Trone is in my book of old school. We we go the way back.
Only since Redbox.
Yeah. That's funny. I was about to ask you when you started playing, but that's so at 78 or something.
I was about to say,
79,
I'm
That's
assuming you're not
79.
I started
meaning the
playing
movie rental company, Redbox.
No.
85, I think, the first time.
Oh, really?
Oh, really?
Oh, that's right. The first box was white. Yeah, red
That was
box was 80, I
that was
think
one.
85 or 84. Yeah, you're right. That's
I don't
crazy.
I
I
don't
was
want to like I don't want to like age all you guys, but like that was before I was born.
Yeah, no.
I was born in
Birthday boy.
'84.
uh,
We know birthday
Right.
Monday.
that's right. That's right. Was it last week or this week? That's your
This
birthday.
Friday, right?
It was wasn't it like
Wait.
Tuesday or Wednesday last week? No, it was
Yeah, that's what
Wednesday, right?
I couldn't remember if it was Friday last week or if it's coming up. And we lost Monday right when we needed the answer.
I think it's Friday
What?
this week, actually.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
When's your birthday?
Your birthday is Friday this week, right?
Oh, my birthday is Thursday, the 16th.
Oh.
Heck
I'll
yeah.
be 37, I think, or 36. I'm not sure. One or the other.
Heck yeah. Happy birthday.
So I was running D&D campaigns when you were born.
Right.
Which is crazy. I myself have a pretty extensive background in tabletop role-playing games like Dungeons and Dragons. I didn't really get introduced until my teen years. I'd say like 13, 14. I started playing 3rd edition and then 3.5 D&D. I played Vampire the Masquerade, a handful of other
Heck yeah.
stuff like D20 Modern, the Star Wars role-playing game. I've played all of the Warhammer 40K tabletop role-playing games, not the actual 40K. I have played the actual 40K games, but I'm talking about like the D&D style 40K games.
Yeah, yeah.
I've also been a game tester for several local game creators in the Western New York area. So I've DM'd like many campaigns, but I am happy to say this campaign has by far been the longest running tabletop anything I've been involved with, and I am just having an absolute blast with it.
That's awesome. Heck yeah. I do try, you know. It's been hard lately with work, I said. With work, like it's commencement season here, so I've been running all day every day for about 2 weeks now. So, um, but yeah, I my first adventure I DM'd, I might have been 5 or 6. I ran it for my father. I didn't know any of the rules. All I knew is my brother drew on graph paper these maps, and then he would say what was in the rooms, and then you'd fight him and you'd get treasure. And I just thought that was the coolest thing. So my dad played along, and he fought a wolf, and he got the treasure from it, and different things like that. Uh, but it wasn't until my teen years that I really got into playing with a group that was outside of my family, or like the kids that my brother was babysitting, or something like that. Um, but yeah, geez, if Trone and I listed off all the versions of RPGs that we played, that would be the entire rest of the stream. So I'll spare you guys those details. But
I'm
Remy, how
looking up
long?
at my shelf in my office right now. I've got Hero
Yeah.
Quest, Mutant Chronicles, BattleTech, Shadowrun, Marvel Superheroes,
Yeah.
D&D, and that's just on one shelf.
Yeah. Yeah, I think a couple streams ago you mentioned actually quite a few of them. But what about you, Remy? How long have you been playing?
Well, so I never like actually played like a D&D role-playing game like this.
Yeah.
Since I always wanted to. I've had friends that have done it before, and like I was always like kind of jealous, like but I used to like play. I used to role play in like MMORPGs. Like I used to play Ultima Online was a game I used to play for like 6 or 7 years.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I was like in 2 guilds in that, and like they were both these role playing guilds, but I finally ended up in like the one that was actually was Kingdom of Winterfell, and this was back in like must have been like 1999, and it was like my friend was like, yeah, she's like, you should start reading these books that our guild is based on. And that was like my first introduction to like Kingdom of Winterfell, and like a lot of the people were playing characters based on the novels.
Right
Lo
on.
and behold, like fast forward like was it 20, yeah, it was about what, 15 years later that HBO picked it up as an actual show.
Yeah,
And I
that's
was like, I
awesome.
was reading those books back in 1999. Little did I know that I'd still be
Heck yeah.
waiting for new versions to come out since the series is not complete.
Yeah, hopefully they change the ending a little for us.
Yeah.
But yeah, you had mentioned at one point that you played Ultima, so you're familiar with the kind of role playing another entity kind of stuff.
Yeah, and like I've always been into like fantasy and RPG, like video game RPGs. None of the
Oh yeah,
tabletop stuff, but like it's cool to kind of see, like a lot of the terms and the spells and the creatures and stuff will kind of come from that. So it's like,
yeah,
like it's like I'm adjacent to it, I guess. So
right, right. Yeah, it's one of the cool things. D&D was the first, and almost everything that you do in video games now is a direct result of
yeah,
these games. Which, the thing about it is wild, Take that!
fell the beast.
Nicely done. Yeah. For the amount of time that everybody has under their belts, I think we're doing pretty good. Especially Spicy. The way you kind of lean into whatever's going on, I really appreciate. I don't know if I ever told you that, but
If we're complimenting each other, I would also like to compliment Spicy because I feel like some of the funnest moments are when you do something completely badass and epic. And Long Tom or someone will be like, "How does it go?" And you're just like, "I stabbed it in the face." It's like super short, super quick, super easy, super mysterious, and very
yeah,
funny every single time.
and it kind of matches his whole leather, vest, kind of like like his
Edgelord.
character's yeah, he's a little edge lord, little jalapeno. Uh,
Here's a good question for everybody. Most memorable moment in any RPG you ever played?
Oh,
Mine was
that's
the repeated cannon shots to the face. Just last stream.
Yeah, I was gonna say
that
mine
was
is also K&K related.
right on. Yeah, just due to the amount of backstory that might be required, uh, let's limit to K and K. Uh, but Monday, yeah, go ahead.
Definitely, honestly. So it's kind of sad. It was like bittersweet, but the episode where Gracie finally went back to the Klombos, like I don't think I've ever played a D&D game where I was like happy, excited, laughing, and crying at the same time.
Yeah, those couple episodes, especially the one at the end when Gracie finally goes home, was some of my favorite moments too, for sure. Uh, yeah, and that's what I love about this game. It gives you a chance to, like that had every opportunity to be cheesy, and it even was kind of cheesy. You know what I mean? But it was also, like we were losing one of our friends in real life, because they weren't going to be playing with us anymore too. So there was that like, kind of extra oomph behind those episodes. So
Yeah, it is incredible. I love everyone who's playing currently. I think the group is awesome. I also miss Rooster and Abide Guy and Gracie. They were amazing.
yeah, yep. Um, it was fun for me too playing with Abide because I never knew what was going to happen ever, And
Ever.
there's already that aspect to the game because everybody, can make whatever decisions they want to. And I like the when you guys first went to Cutlass Cove and there was the one guard at the top of the tower that wasn't under the like cover of the mist to cover your guy's entrance, and he pulls out a pizza from 3 episodes early and pretends to be. I was just like, oh, it was just amazing, stuff like that, because I couldn't have predicted that in a million years.
Yeah,
I forgot about that pizza a long time ago. I thought he ate it.
I think a good important lesson, the most important lesson I learned while playing this game, comes from a bad guy. Never eat chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah, that was it. We had lots of good little moments like that too, just little movie reference moments. Um,
um, I do have some other questions related to the story and the meta, if I am allowed to ask.
yeah, but before you do, let's find out if Trone and or Remy have any favorite moments.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
What?
One of my favorite moments has got to be
Oh, it's that guy.
we had to go to the little farm village, or not the farm village, the little shore to get the supplies and everything like that. And we held off the bandit invasion. And I basically faced the whole bandit with one color spray spell.
One shot, they teleported away.
That was that was fun. Our first experimental big combat, and yeah, you guys crushed it. But yeah, Harry being able to wipe out just anybody who came near them with their color spray ability was pretty entertaining. Uh, you just
Or
pretty much
the
every round you'd be like, I color spray, and it'd be like, okay, so there was 10 guys and now there's 5.
but I'd have to say the most memorable out of all of it is hand
Oh, you cut out. Wait, it was what?
guard.
Sorry, what was the last thing you said?
When I used mage hand to make the one guard look like they were cheating cards with the other guards.
Oh yeah, way back in the old times. That was still in Tudor Royalton, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
One of the
that's
test
crazy.
areas.
Yep. Yeah. That was the spot. Um, yeah.
It's one of the most creative uses of mage hand ever.
I feel like I have a couple.
Right.
I think one of my first times playing, and Haskins came in, and we were fighting these like boss guys, and it was really interesting how like you had like the reactive armor on or whatever, and I forgot that it was even a thing. So it was like, we would hit them, and then they would hit us, and I was like, what the heck is that? I'm like, there's that in this game? I'm like, oh my god, there's like, so like that, and just like the builds of that, and like being in that like vicinity of that like cemetery, that cathedral thing.
Yeah, the mausoleum, the tomb of the
Yeah.
fallen.
Yeah, that was like really cool. Like I was like, wow, like okay, because that was like a really cool like introduction for me to everything. And then I have to say, I think fighting the giants was that was kind of crazy. Like how like we were
Yeah.
like blowing up these giant things. They were like flying, like things were exploding, and the thing was like flying through the air and like all that. Um, oh, the mage tower blowing up. That was crazy. Seeing that whole thing collapse and fall.
A
That was
lot
a
of
cool
things
one.
blow up in this game.
Yeah. And then of course the running away from you, the giant dragon,
Heck yeah.
and and the sea monster too. Like that just
Yeah,
coming out
yeah.
of nowhere.
It's
But
it's been fun trying to come up with ways to surprise you guys. That's definitely, in my opinion, like the best part. Because like I mean, I like to build, obviously, but like having a reason, like a direction each
right.
week, is great for me. Um, and especially the builds that I've been able to do, and certainly, obviously builds that Syria has helped with too, that allow us to break out of the boundaries of what, enemies are available in the game,
Yeah,
And,
is your game broke?
I think we're
uh,
all stuck.
oh, we're all frozen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, and we're all right here, right? Nobody's like gone. Oh, where's Drone?
He died.
Oh no.
That's
That's
why.
that's what's happening. Yeah.
Game's trying to
Um.
figure
Yeah,
out
but
how
it
to get him
went down
back.
to the village that was nearby, so I don't know why it's taking this long.
Hmm. Oh, I'm getting a connectivity signal on my screen.
Yeah,
That's
about to
weird
boot
because
me.
I can't move, but I can like open windows and look around and
Yeah, yeah.
I can dodge roll. That's all I can do.
Yep.
Oh
That's
yeah.
and it'll snap you back to wherever you started from when it does unfreeze.
I'm gonna
Uh,
roll
cool.
off
I'm
the
gonna see how
tree.
far I can get.
I'm assuming when it unfreezes, I'm gonna be needing a res because I was fighting that crown wearing dude over there.
uh-oh.
So I'm
Speaking of
probably
which,
gonna be dead.
Maybe that's
what?
just I should have never brought the Thunderlord out into the world. The world wasn't ready for the Thunderlord.
Yeah, he's killed me
Speaking of
twice.
which, why don't they give us that little electric throwing ability as a weapon?
Oh, the like shooting the ball of energy thing. That would be
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
it's in
like
game.
Yeah.
there's a lot of things, that obviously the mechanics are there for. For example, you could make an acid launcher, rocket launcher thing out of the brute spit. You know what I mean? There's lots of stuff
Mhm.
that if we just had that, you know, my
Yeah.
my life would be a lot easier because I could be like, oh well, that's obviously the fireball spell. You know.
I just got
Oh,
kicked.
booted. We
I
broke
was
the
saying how
world.
I would love there to be a spell book and like have some basic spells. I mean, talking
Right,
about like
right,
Ultima Online, it was kind of cool because you'd have your spell book and then you'd have these regents and you'd have to collect, and they were like ingredients for each spell.
right, right.
But there's like a lot of like, before they added in flying, like I feel like levitating is easy to do, a lightning bolt kind of thing, increased stamina, faster swimming, maybe like levitating stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
just some basic ones that are like you said are just already like in the like are there. And
Hello, how about throwing saber throw on the lightsabers because we have a pickaxe we can throw?
Right.
yeah, right. Like,
Yeah. That's
oh,
one of the
should
things
we
I
wait
was
to go back
for.
in?
It says we're all still in there, so I'm loading a different map.
Oh, now it's waiting
Just
matchmaking to commence. I can't even cancel it.
just so I have things to punch while we're talking. I wonder where I even am.
I'm just chilling.
Uh
But yeah, stuff like that would be really
oh,
cool.
things just hadn't
And we
loaded
have the
in yet.
thunderclap spell if we use the stormblade.
Right. Um yeah, and that's also been another kind of thing that, obviously we need to roll with the punches on. When they add things or update the game, uh, you know, now all of a sudden you guys have new abilities or new, you know, things that you can or cannot do. There was a time in K and K when dodging was a class ability, you know what I mean? Because we were so limited with what we could do.
Right.
Um, but now anybody who can press their button can do it. uh, could I turn that down? I sure can. Uh, See, it's funny. I don't even hear the game sounding because I'm not in that audio channel. um, yeah, let's see. Um, Anybody have any like storyline questions or anything, or questions about NPCs you have met? Um,
I do. So this question is for you, but it's also kind of for the people watching. I was wondering if there's a chance we would ever get to see some memorable NPCs such as the green guys or some of the other lovable NPCs, maybe even like, that one that shall not be named Shao Kahn. And I was
Shere
also
Khan.
wondering if any Shere Khan, sorry, if
Yeah.
anyone watching had any NPCs they were wondering about.
Right on. Um, well, I mean, like all things, that's up to you guys. Um, we know Sarge is in the capital. You know, uh, he may become plot relevant again at some point, but that's hard to say. Because, for example, I thought, and anything I say in this next little bit is not a judgment, it's a observation, just in case anybody like I thought you guys were going to, after you broke out of prison, go get revenge against Shere Khan, but he hasn't been mentioned since, like, and I was just like, huh. So, you know, if
Harry's
there's
still
an
plotting it.
NPC, yeah, right. Harry has never stopped plotting it since his jail cell. He was writing on the walls his plan with his fertilizer. Uh, but yeah, all of that stuff is pretty much up to you guys. If you guys want to deal with the warden again, you got to go back to the prison. Stuff like that. Um, The only one that you might not run into again is Yoda, because he's now a Force ghost. But then again, he could be anywhere. So maybe you'll run into Yoda again too. Um, Steve the mimic. Remy, try a spell and bring Steve back. Syria says. Um, yeah, that's that ship has sailed, Syria. That's
Yeah,
uh,
unfortunately, I think we permanently respawned Steve.
yep. I don't know if cardboard boxes have the required material components for a resurrection spell.
Maybe a reincarnate though from a druid.
Ooh, he could come back as like a end table or something.
That's it. We're no longer concerned about the main storyline. Our new quest is to resurrect Steve, the
See?
mimic.
And there you go. That's how it happens. You know what I mean? You guys make a decision, and then I am stuck with it. uh, another fine example of not being able to plan for things. I had a uh, Kahar, who was the seagull that Remy had started to make friends with uh, in the prison. I had a entire mouse character that was going to use the splinter skin, um, because Remy's mission to make contact with, the animals was going to finally pay off, and then Remy wasn't there that night.
Yeah.
So I was like, I guess we're doing another thing, and that, of course, steered the story farther away now from that, subplot. But I definitely had Kahar. I definitely bought the one of the bird skins to represent Kahar in the game. I was going to use the Splinter skin for Nostradamus, who was going to be the oldest rat. There was going to be a whole, like, I don't know if you guys remember this movie, but The Secret of Nim,
Oh
back in
yeah.
the day,
Yeah.
uh, where all the hyper intelligent rats formed a community underneath this rose bush, and blah 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 blah. There's a whole thing. Long story short, never happened. You know, uh, so it's hard to know what is and what isn't going to pay off, because again, you guys can just decide that nope. For the next 6 months, we're gonna try and resurrect Steve. That's and again, it's not a I'm not complaining. It's not a, you know, admonition or anything. It's an observation, and and that's totally one of the most fun parts of the game. Um, and that's part of my job is Cavern Master. For those of you who may be joining us for the first time, this is my Cavern Master skin to represent the hand that rolls the dice and pulls the strings and builds the Legos. Let me see if I can. Oh, I can't turn around with that tool in my hand. There we go. There he is. Ain't he pretty? But yeah, like Syria and I built that banana that you guys just met last episode, like 8 months ago. You know, uh, and then we just never went there because the story didn't lead us there. You know. Uh, but anybody who plays these games knows that that's what's up. So it's exciting for me sometimes to get taken off track as it is for you guys. You know what I mean? I forget who asked that question, but I hope I answered it. See if we get
Yeah,
back into K and K.
Yeah.
And for the most part, that's another question I had for all of you players is the parts that have been cooler and the parts that have been less cool for you. For example, uh, and this again, there's different types of players, and that's fine. So there are no wrong answers to this question. But like, what parts of K and K are the most exciting for you guys, and what parts would you like to possibly make better in the future?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
Right? Right? Because you got to criticize me to my face live.
I really enjoy most of it. I mean, the
Yeah.
combat is awesome. Both forms of combat is really fun, whether it's the turn-based or it's the actual live action. I think this isn't really a criticism on you. It's more of a criticism on the party itself, me included. But I think sometimes we definitely it would be I think sometimes we need to like ask the right questions because like the whole Shere
Mm,
Khan thing, like we never asked his name.
right.
Like,
Right.
I wish one of us, I wish I was the one who was like, hey, what's your name? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but again, that's more of a criticism on us, the party, and not so much you. But
Right. That is a interesting thing though, because every time you folks have ever like made solid advancement, it's been through conversation actually. Like the punching things has rarely worked out to your advantage actually, which is
yeah, that's true. We ended up in jail most of the time.
yeah. Where you got to punch more things, so it worked out. Um, but yeah, that's kind of why I'm asking the question. I want to know what works and what doesn't. But what about spicy? You got any input there, Sir Neo?
No. Just listen.
Right on.
Feeling
But
absolutely helpless during the whole prison arc as a mage.
Yeah,
mm,
I wish I'd have been there for that one.
yeah, yeah.
That's what got me really interested, honestly.
Right on. That was another situation where I kind of expected one thing to happen and it did not even remotely happen. I expected you guys to all like interact more with the gangs. Um, I didn't expect Trone in the middle of his like like outburst to all of a sudden decide to be a like model inmate, stuff like that. So there was story beats that were missed because you guys kind of kept to yourselves and did your own thing, which that's fine. But um, like I had a plan for when you guys got to solitary confinement. There was information to find out if someone made it as far as solitary confinement. There was info to be gathered. There was the Mages gang. There was the Star Wars gang. All the different biomes were represented. And so I figured, well, here's a chance for you guys to gain a whole bunch of knowledge about the world, and then that's not what happened. You know what I mean? So, like, Harry could have had more of a role. Like, for example, when that guy was like, if you need anything, come see us. Um, there was a whole backstory behind like their magical jail tats and yada yada yada, and the plan was honestly to give you magical jail tats and let you be able to do certain things, because of them. But the story didn't go that way. Um, but yeah, so like I said in the past couple streams, uh, the whole vault thing came about because I needed a way to tell the story that wasn't told at the prison. So, um, that's something, and part of why I'm asking the question is I have struggled a little bit from the beginning between what I show you and what I tell you. You know what I mean? Like, I never at any point was like, you guys should do this because I don't want to railroad you. You know what I mean? Um, when realistically, I should have probably done a little bit more railroading to get to, you know, because
Yeah.
it's you know,
Yeah, when you spend a lot of time on a plan or a build and we never make it to it, it's kind of disheartening.
um, a little bit for sure, but like I like I was saying, it's not unexpected either.
Right.
Um, because again, like even if like it was just me and Monday playing, I would never be able to guess what Monday was going to do each week.
Right.
I can lay out the like the
That scenario has played out before, and it is always random.
yeah. Um, so to do that for four, and at one point, didn't we have 6 players at one point?
I think so. I think there was like 5 or 6 at one point. Yeah.
Yeah, I know in when we started there was 5, but at any rate, and then each person has their own idea, and then, you know, uh, there's a like a D&D joke essentially, like the best way to like get your party to like waste an hour essentially is to put an unlocked door in front of them. You know,
Right.
because they will literally try everything but the knob. You know, like I think one of my favorite actually like kind of metagame moments was when you guys first did one of the first vaults, and above the door there was one of those black vases, and Tron was like, "Shoot the vase," because
Walls
in
that
Zelda.
would make an opening.
Yeah, yeah. In Zelda, though, that's exactly what you do. You know what I mean? Like, there's obviously like, there's something in this room to shoot to open this door, and yeah, that may have not been the way you meant it, but that's totally the way I interpreted it, which I was I I was delighted. So, um, but yeah, Remy, what about you, there, boss? You got any?
I mean, really, for me, I don't, just because this has been my first time, so I really don't have much to compare it to or anything.
Right,
I mean,
right.
my only thing I would say
Well,
is maybe the jail definitely felt a bit long, and I was like, yeah, it was. I felt like we were all going crazy because I was like, yeah, we're just gonna start trying to like really. I mean, on one hand, it kind of was cool because like we were start to
it,
really like just be like whatever. I'm gonna start talking to animals now, like, and started
right,
like
right.
really trying to get creative with things.
Yeah, it was like you
Uh,
guys were really in jail.
yeah, well, yeah, and it felt kind of real. We were really in jail. But yeah, so that was the only thing where I was like, oh, this
Yeah.
is here each day. Yeah, we were literally in jail. So like each time we'd log in, we'd be like, okay, back to our cells.
All right,
uh,
go cook some food now in the kitchen.
yeah.
But honestly, you not having a lot of experience is kind of an advantage for your as far as your opinion's concerned because you don't have anything to compare it to. So what works for you and what is kind of you know not working for you is even more relevant.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I guess excuse me. Yeah, I guess just in terms of knowing when to our abilities. For me, I guess it was just me trying to understand my abilities more. But that's more of my own thing of like learning as I go.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I would think that's about it. I get. I think it was just the kind of the going between like the real time fighting and the the step by step. But I or like the turn based. But I feel like that's more of like just the limitations of what Lego Fortnite is. You know,
Right.
like
Right.
it would be great if we could like pause the bad guys and
Right.
actually do a turn based.
Yeah. Yeah. Instead of fighting
You know,
scarecrows.
yeah. Or like, although it was kind of cool when it was like, um, if you were controlling the bad guy, and you do it more like in that sense.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
like,
Um, and that's something that I would like to do more of. For example, back in the day, and it's been mentioned before when Haskins came,
yeah,
um, having because even with the five of us in here, that leaves three more slots for people to pop in. So we could, have somebody come in and play a bad guy and do the turn-based thing. You know what I mean?
mm-hmm,
Um, which we kind of did with Haskins, but the rules were rougher at the time, and because of
right,
the time crunch of getting him in there, I was kind of doing his rolling and deciding what he was doing for him instead of uh, him playing himself, which was unfortunate. But like I said, it was his anniversary and a bunch of
yeah,
different things, and so. We did the best we could with what we had, but no, I would love to do that for sure. And believe it or not, I know a guy who's super into Lego PvP, so he may make an appearance at some point.
sounds good.
Yeah, it's fun. The One of my favorite things that we did combat-wise was when you guys were all fighting the web designer.
Yeah,
Kind of took a bunch of pot shots at me as I ran around the web, and then we kind of just did a little you know impromptu PvP, and you know it wasn't amazing or anything, but it was definitely fun to fight something that wasn't just gonna die the second you looked at it.
yeah,
And that's a little secret for you guys. We've been playing on hard difficulty for like 6 or 7 weeks now, because you
oh,
guys were just crushing everything that I put in your way.
That actually makes so much sense
That's why I've
now.
died
Oh
9 times
my.
tonight.
Yeah. No, because I noticed like a while back, like I went from like never dying in those kind of combats to like every single time I get respawned.
Yeah,
I thought it was just because I was used to the Minecraft combat because I've been playing Minecraft so much.
right. Hitting the wrong button to dodge.
Yeah, dude, the first week in Minecraft, I died 1,000 times trying to dodge. There is no dodge.
And now we know. um, but yeah, like I was saying, you guys were just like you'd run into a brute and just like smoke it. There was no danger. There was no nothing. I think I actually turned it on for the dragon fight or for the first time. It's when so if you guys have noticed since you fought that Klombo, things have been a little harder in the world. That's why. Here's something we didn't get to see the other night. Inside the brown banana, the eldest banana's staff, there is a lighthouse light, so you can see it from far away. At least you used to be able to. You used to be able to see it from like 400 meters, and now you have to get within draw distance and then back up. It's silly.
You know, it's funny you mentioned that because last week I spent like 15 minutes behind the Grand Dananad just to see if there was like, there any entrance? Is he hollowed out? Can I get inside this thing?
Yeah, we had grand plans for this banana, but this one's just a sculpture.
Oh, everyone take notes. Notice how he said this one. That has implications.
Uh-oh, I've been caught in a verbal verbal technicality. Um, but yeah. What about you, Trone? What's been working and not working for you as far as our system so far?
So far, so good, man. Like, no complaints. Like, I feel powerful as a barbarian. I felt useful as a mage. Like, I mean, for what we have to work with, we've done a pretty good job so far, I would think.
Heck yeah.
Like, it's
Yeah,
it's nice being able to stand in front of like 10, 15 enemies and just soak up damage. So, like, finish some.
right, right. um,
I would like to see more magic added to the game, or items that let us use more magic stuff to make it more
Yeah.
fun to be magic.
yeah, absolutely. No, that's been, like I've been saying, it's been the hardest thing to do, like, um, because there's a certain aspect of like destructibility to the world that I'm like totally fine with. Sometimes I build things specifically for you guys to break them. But then any spell that we would be able to emulate, like say fireball or something like that that would actually do a ton of damage, you
Lateral
know,
damage.
then it just it's going to wipe out the structures, it's going to wipe out, anything that's connected to it, which is unfortunate. So like I've been thinking, obviously for like area effect spells, just giving you, whatever X amount of poison jars or whatever, But yeah, like you're saying, hopefully they'll add, you know, even just like a few more items to the game that'll, you know, make it a little more viable of a class. Um, Something that I've been kind of going back and forth on with you guys because it's kind of unregulatable is cantrips and stuff like that. Um, like they, because cantrips, for those of you who aren't aware of D&D, it's a little magic thing that your wizard can just do whenever. It doesn't require them to use a spell slot, or which is you have a certain number per day that you can use. But cantrips you can just do whenever. So how do I represent that in a game that's fair? You know what I mean? So one of the things I've been thinking about doing for you spellcasters is to represent your uh, cantrips is just giving you like an E11 blaster, and you have one E11 blaster per day. And once it's done, you don't get another one until you long rest, and it's the best I can do, with the mechanics that we have. And even that though is still a little bit like much. Um, and we're still working on spells in live combat versus uh, turn-based combat, stuff like that. So we've got a lot of work to do yet, but I have to agree with you, Tron. I think we've been doing all right so far. Um, let's see. Did Spicy get a turn to? Did Spicy want a turn?
Trying to find out where Spicy went.
Around here somewhere. Maybe never rejoin the world. Might be. Yep, it's just you, me, and Monday in the world right now.
Oh, let me come back. I didn't realize we were all back in there.
Yeah, I'm just riding Prime Minister Buttercakes around in circles.
I'm traversing back and forth between Buttercakes and Brock, just observing what everyone's doing and trying to use the fishing pole to cause shenanigans.
Hey, Remy's back,
I'm
dressed
coming.
dressed as an adventurer. I dig it.
Am I? Should be.
Oh, the Adventure Peely one popped up.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
I was that earlier, and then I
switched,
switched. But sometimes it does that weird, like it doesn't update right away.
Yeah, in the party, you're the right banana. uh, so all right. Do you guys want to shoot each other with stuff for a while, and punch each other, and see what happens?
Yes, always.
Let's roll.
All right. If you guys want to
Good
meet
boat.
up on me, we'll figure some things out. That was my leg. Hold on, I gotta throw a golem at this bear.
It's done.
Leroy Jenkins.
Get him, bear. Oh, get him. Get him, buddy. No, don't fight the bear, Monday. Oh. That wasn't fair.
That's why he said Leroy Jenkins.
He had a 6.89 repeating, of course, chance.
Right. Oh. You can dodge a rock. You can dodge a dodgeball. So, it's hard for me to pin down a true favorite moment because my expectation versus reality is not always what happens, but it's always fun no matter what happens, like watching you guys work through something, or figuring out what to do next, because you guys always come up with something that's I'm lagged. That's awesome. You know what I mean? And like I say, even when it's not the way I thought it would go or intend to, the way you guys problem solve and the way you guys portray your characters, that's definitely my favorite part overall. And because there's so many different situations that we've been in over the weeks, and so many different scenarios, it's. How come I'm
being Viking right now?
How come I'm frozen but none of you are?
That is strange.
That's very interesting. Oh, I'm unfrozen! Yay! I'm free!
Little present for you.
Who are you talking to?
You
Where are you? I don't know
in the
where you are.
water.
Nice. Does it have a reverse? Ooh.
Yes, it does.
Oh, sit. I'm gonna guess this is reverse. Good guess. I'm gonna guess this is turn. Yeah. Heck yeah. Got my own little war ride now.
But we gotta go.
Yeah, Golem that's downed me a couple times already.
Oh. The golem. I'm backing up. I didn't know he was down here. That's awesome. Uh,
Oodles.
yeah, there's so many things that I would love to be able to do for you guys, but just the way the physics in the game work. You know, like I would have loved any of the times you guys were on the Conquistador to go and uh, have like ship-to-ship combat, but any explosions launch things. You know, there's no, you know, means to do like water versus water combat that's going to be fair or, you know, fun. Um, I would love to do more stuff like the giant that we did with the giants, but you know, we all know what happened when you know, hit them with stuff. You know, they just go launching. So, uh, yeah, it's been a fun. That's a lot of dynamite. It's been fun for me to like try and figure out ways that, you know, you guys can fight things that are the enemies. Um,
That's funny. It puts you on a float if you're in the water.
Get him, Healy Peely. You're our only hope.
Thank you.
Ah, dynamite. Run. Ow! I've been playing other games too. That's not dodge. But yeah, so my favorite part is watching you guys figure out a problem in character. If there was one thing I would like to see more of is like communication and teamwork. Because, for example, uh, some of you, you know, you all use different weapons, and each weapon, you know, has their own like little ability. You know, for example, the daggers from behind do more damage, which, you know, is a class ability of both Monday and Spicy. Um, so, you know, if like Trone were to tank, you know, and they could get around behind, you know, something you're fighting. And now I know this isn't always going to work in every situation, because that's just not the way the AI works in the game either. But yeah, just more like letting each other know what you're doing in those live action moments before you know, jumping into
Yeah,
action.
absolutely. I think it would be a good idea to try and work on more cohesive communication within the group.
Yeah, because I think there's a lot of these situations that, especially with it, you know, the
Remy,
higher
lead him to the
difficulty.
shore.
Uh,
Lead him to the shore.
I'm gonna grab some aggro on these guys. Come here, you. Come here. Come to the shore. Come on, you can do it. Stand right here.
Dynamite guys are freaking crazy.
Get him, drone. But yeah, a lot of the situations where you guys do go down, I think it's because, for example, Remy was watching Trone over there when Monday went over there, or, you know, whoever happens to be, you know. And there's also, you know, there's only so much that you can be self-reliant for healing as well, which is why, like, Remy's so clutch, you know. So, yeah. But overall, obviously, like, I'm having a blast, or I wouldn't be here every week, because this, too, for me, is one of my longest running campaigns in, you know, probably 2 decades, you know, like, beyond my, like, teen and early 20s. Uh, so, yeah, I'm definitely a huge fan of what we're doing, and everybody's contributions to it. So, let's see. Catching up on chat.
Do cannons on golems?
There's one way to find out. Have some. Oh, do golems throw rocks at pirate ships? That's a good question too.
Oh, there they do.
You just staggered him with that. That's awesome. Dude.
Oh, I'm not sure if you read chat, but Spicy will be right back.
Yeah, I did catch that. Dude, if you can keep him staggered, that's incredible. Oh. See ya.
Okay. That's gonna be my top coolest K&K things.
Drowning a golem with a cannon, yeah, that's pretty awesome. Ah!
Baby goes locker.
Yeah, and that's another thing too. I used to have so much time on my hands, you know, because I was home, injured, to like test mechanics and you know when there was an update, see if you know ships still reacted that way when you shot them with a blaster, or, you know, whatever thing I needed figuring out. But since I've been back to work these past couple weeks, it's been like I said, nonstop because it's commencement season, so I haven't got to do much of that poking around that I would like to. And then, like I mentioned earlier, some of it I just can't do by myself. So I don't know what just exploded behind me, but I'm guessing it was a cannon from the. Ah!
I kept knocking.
Quick, everyone take them to Long Tom.
Chaos! Haha.
I love the things that explode. Look at it. Yeah.
I survived. Look at all the just.
Do
like,
we get to keep the loot we get from today?
I'm gonna have to go with it. Oh, you can only have 2 golems out? I thought you could have 3.
I got my money on the tomato golem.
Oh no. Who did you just throw that rock at? Oh, at you up in the air. I thought he threw it at the ship. Can't believe I missed.
Look out.
No! Holy
Wanna see
guacamole, I
these-
almost went down. And I have no
They chase
idea where
after
I'm going to
them?
respawn.
They don't go after them.
Which, what?
I was hoping those little exploding guys go after the golems, but they don't.
Ooh.
That's not fun.
Oh no. I'm okay.
That's why, like, what's fun is, where are they?
Come back.
What? He still got me. What?
No, I got punched. Help, help, help. Trone. Back the ship up. No. Oh god, I missed. No, drone.
Get it.
Vroom vroom, bitches. You almost broke the cannon, bro. That's fun. This is a fun thing too, like this blaster just stopped in the middle of all that fighting to eat. So you guys can like throw out like meat pies and stuff, or like, you know, just regular meat and distract enemies mid-fight. It's like the goofiest thing, but that's the game engine we got. You put
Let's
that
see if
down
zero
just as I
update is
threw my
real.
thing. Yeah. You see if
We'll see if the 0 point update is real in June.
oh yeah, no, that's honestly, that is one thing I would love to see in LEGO Fortnite is more Fortnite. You know, there's POI prefabs that we could be getting, you know, like bunch of different things, you know.
Restored reels.
Right? Any at Tilted, you know, all the clock tower.
What about Crime City?
Yeah, right. But you know, any of the like stuff that, you know, like, yeah, we got like the Der Burger stuff, but that we had to buy, and you know, stuff like that. So it'd be nice to see I don't know, just any Fortnite stuff coming over, that anything that's directly tied to Fortnite. Whether it be builds or, you know, items, you know, give us a chug cannon, give me a flame bow, give me a, you know, stuff like that. It would be fun. 'Cause yeah, and again, all ties back into being able to do the different classes justice, you know. Like if we had a flame bow, the flame arrow spell would be really easy to recreate, you know. If we had Molotov cocktails that, you know, damaged only wood, like structures, then I could make a stone dungeon for you to fireball to the end of the day, you know. But for now, it's just the poison jars, my friend. Ah, I'm being attacked by irradiated somethings. Who just shot all of them with
I don't know
what?
what you're talking about.
How is my axe missing?
That's it's gonna be problems for everyone.
That's a fun combo. It's like the scorpions themselves aren't that dangerous, but then they explode and set off all the dynamite.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I was standing right by all the dynamite, and you launched a scorpion, and I'm like, I'm just gonna activate this dynamite barrel. And the next thing I know, I turn around, and all the barrels are going off.
Yeah, that was my most devious and deadly trap in all of the vaults was gonna drop a dozen scorpions into the room with you guys.
Oh, I remember
But
you even showed us the ceiling where they would fall, but they had despawned by then.
yeah, yeah. But that was fun too. For example, the vault, I expected you guys to kind of like pick your way through slowly, you know, and like make sure you had gotten everything, and nah. And some incredible way you guys just picked the most direct route there as well, to the end. Like, that didn't see that coming. uh, but yeah,
A very in danger sense.
right. Yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of some danger sense, we got an angry Klombo. Make it matter.
Oh no, it caused lag.
Great. I just want to shoot the Klombo. Oh yeah,
Oh no, Clubber!
that golem's toast. Man, I kind of expected more from this Klombo. Oh no!
Oh,
I was
look how
being,
he dies.
yeah, it is super depressing. Oh, that golem's barely even hurt. Womp womp.
Tell
I
Gracie to look away if
don't
she's
know. Oh, what's that?
Tell Gracie to look away if she's watching. Klombo's dying.
Yeah. I don't know if they changed it, but I know I definitely tested back in the day just building a bunch of dynamite barrels to lure a brute into. And any barrels that he set off himself did no damage to him. Any barrels that I set off did.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's a
Can
interesting
you?
game mechanic for sure.
Are we not able to make boulders?
Mm-hmm. They're in equipment.
A small boulder. Boulder.
I'm sorry, Gollum. I didn't mean it. You can play at that game.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
The big ones are
There's
terrible.
earthquake spell.
Yeah,
That's a good spell.
they only kind of work. Sometimes the small ones are better, but the big ones break on almost every surface that you throw them on, so there's really no point to them. But yeah,
Get the small ones done.
that's definitely things I've been trying to think about incorporating into the game. You know, like there's no reason why Brock couldn't pick up a rock and throw it, you know, like a boulder. But at the same time, it does so little damage. It would, you know, it's hard to incorporate because it would be like just a pointless feature almost.
Oh man, that was reminding me of something I did in Baldur's Gate 3 today. I was messing around with the barbarian class, and on one of the quests, the barbarian has the option to rip a door open instead of having to use the mechanism to open it. You had to roll a 15 or higher.
Mm, 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 mm. 80 boulders.
My question is now.
Well, that's interesting as all get out. I've never seen that before. When you throw the large boulder, before it hits the ground, it's like a piece of copper ore.
Probably gonna make the game quit. There's so many boulders in the water now.
Which symbol is our little village outside the bastion?
It is
It's like the Gollum booty.
the green face at 24. The village is at 24, and then the green face south of it is your bastion. Boy, there's a lot of rocks rolling around. It's crazy how many rocks are down there. How many rocks do you think we can put down there, Remy? Will this be how the stream ends? We crash the game with boulders?
I can help.
Hello, Adrian Voss. How are you tonight? You're catching us just at the end of our K&K Q&A, but feel free to ask us anything. Currently, we're trying to figure out how many large boulders it takes to crash the game. Whoa! Look at this down here. Did you see all that just blow up?
I was using some thermal detonators. Oh my god, there's a lot. It's getting laggy.
Yeah, we put a lot of rocks in the water.
Yeah, that's why I'm getting out of there. Trying to add a little realism to the little village over there with the ship that'll take us to our bastion.
There you go. Oh.
Oh, lag.
Oh. Oh. Did I break it? Did I finally break the game? No, came back. I wonder how much stone is above those rocks right now. Crazy. Alright. I'm gonna get Prime Minister when I recall what I've done with Prime Minister. Oh, there he is. I'm gonna head over to the village because next week, when we join back up, we will have some sort of adventure happening. What that adventure will be, I do not know. It depends how many more gigs I get this week, I guess. Let's see. Let me make sure I'm not on a collision course for that.
This is Brock's fishing boat for trying to catch the sea serpent so he could get his dinner again finally.
There you go.
Someone was saying that the brutes no longer have like a perimeter. They can keep going now.
Yeah, I'd heard that. That's I heard enemies in general don't have a like they'll just keep chasing you until you can lose them. So that's pretty cool.
Oh, look, this will be fun. The golem found a tribe of tomato heads.
Ooh.
He's going the wrong way though now. I like watching how far. Oh, he just lagged. I like watching how far he can throw the boulder though.
Yeah. The brute spitball has always amazed me, how the length
Oh yeah.
that they can shoot that. Like they are masters of like trajectory. Like they get you over hills. They don't
For
even
real.
they don't even need to be able to see you.
Ready? See, I'd never
alright.
really done this before. Oh, he's destroying that.
Are you fighting a golem and a brute?
Oh my god.
Whatever you
Yeah,
guys do on your way home, don't go past bus stop 7. Thanks.
The rain and the water is not much different right now.
No. It's crazy that that's still a thing. It's been what, like a month that it's been raining?
Wait, where are we going now? Are we just going home? Let's go home.
Yeah. I was just heading over there for the heck
Where's
of it.
home?
It is the two markers. One is the village and one is the house. Now one is the village.
Oh, this over. Wait. Can't wait. I don't. I should have looked before. It's gotta be this cave right here.
If you look on the map where I am, on the
Yes.
Pele Anya Island,
Yeah.
the green house at bus stop 24 is your little island, and the
Okay.
green skull right below that is the cave. Whee! Do 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 do.
I can't.
Home again, jiggity jig.
About
Jump
700
down.
clicks out from it.
So we are coming up rapidly on 10 o'clock here. It's 9:56 Eastern time. We generally stop around 10. So if there aren't any more questions, we could do outros, and we can figure out what you guys want to do next week. Or figure out what you want to do next
Alright.
week and then do outros. Whatever,
Yeah.
however you feel like doing it.
I want to punch a dragon next week.
It's definitely a possibility.
See if my fists are still registered as lethal weapons.
I want to finally get our adventurer's permit.
Oh my god, that's actually not a bad idea considering we keep like talking about that every now and then and never do it.
Oh, that's awesome. But yeah, I think that's a capital thing, but like a grasslands thing, but it definitely wouldn't hurt to have. Because who knows, it might work like you're a foreign delegate, so you can't be charged in a foreign country or.
Well, if I can't get an adventurer's permit, I'm going to get a letter of marque.
There you go. Go down, stop by the Cutlass Cove postal office and fill out the appropriate forms. Hey, you made it. Nice. I got here just as you got here. That's fun. I'm gonna bring the conquistador around. Use a Yodoc finally.
I'm still like, I still get like surprised at how gorgeous this game looks.
Yeah, like
These islands and everything.
Yeah, the especially sunrise and sunset time. I'm just like, geez, like they did not have to go this hard. Like it could have been just like the grass could have been studs. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. I also get like overwhelmed with like all the cool spot. Like, oh, I want to build there. Oh, I want to build like a thing there. Like, oh, that'd be so cool. Like, it's just so many spots.
Yeah, yeah. I should have been turning my camera sooner. I didn't see your boat. I'm sorry. I almost murdered you.
That's okay.
It's hard to see in this thing.
It don't take long to rebuild this boat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's close enough to the dock. It's a serviceable distance. And I can inflate the flight balloons without damaging anything, so I'm happy with that perk and job. But yeah, we know quite a few things about the world. The Daily Blunderbuss and Cutlass Cove situation. Cutlass Cove obviously still needing in of repairs, I'm sure. The Blunderbuss being a source of information. If you guys can trade them information, it's been offered that hey, Monday, could you delete the latest comment in the chat for me?
Yep, no problem.
And then kick whoever that is. But yeah, the information that they were looking for, you had let them know about the warden's nefarious deeds. And yeah, they said if you guys could acquire proof that they would run the story and help you guys find out anything you needed to in the future. We also have the Shere Khan storyline that we could revisit. We could keep looking for artifacts. Where we go next is going to be kind of up to you guys. Because like I was saying, with work being the way it is, I need to know where to focus my attention. So I don't keep building things that we don't see for 9 months. But yeah, that's something for you guys to think about. If you want to think about it and answer me in our K&K Discord, we can do it that way. We could take a vote on several different things, and we could also do something that I didn't even mention. Maybe your guys have personal goals that you want to achieve, which actually was something I wanted to ask you guys about, talk about your characters and their goals essentially. Um, but I forgot about it until just right now. So
Everybody knows what Harry's goal is already.
right, revenge on the grasslands essentially,
Oh
or
yeah,
just the prison in general.
one-man war.
Right on. Because that's also an option too. Heading back to places we have been to see what has changed and, uh, you know, the effect of you guys having been there, obviously. You do know one giant in the world. Um, you've met a ton of NPCs. Um, you can go way all the way back to the beginning and find out what happened to Hayseed. Anything's possible.
New quest: resurrect Hayseed and Steve, or combine the two. Hey Steve.
Reincarnate Steve into Hayseed's body.
Okay, sorry about that. I was dealing with that. What was the question?
Um, Pretty much the direction you guys want to go next week.
Oh, go ahead, Remy.
I was gonna say sorry. Like I was gonna say like maybe some pretend on doing like some side quests. So like we go to like one of the towns we visited to make do, and we just kind of talk to the villagers, and it's like we do simple things like collect a certain amount of like wolf claws or something. Like I can't
Yeah,
believe
yeah.
I'm pitching fetch quests, but I don't know. Maybe like sometimes I feel like it's kind of like if you're drawing or something, you just kind of scribble, or you kind of just aimlessly draw, and then like that kind of makes your brain flow. So like in the same sense, and you start to come up with larger, like, oh, what if we do this now, or what if we make this, or so maybe if we do like a couple, like help the NPCs of the village out, and maybe I don't know if we want to return to one of the villages, or we find like a new small village somewhere, and we just do some small quests and just see if that like sparks something that like we end up having to check out or something.
Yeah, yeah. And
Just an idea.
there's a totally place to do that. Like, um, and places to do that that relate back to the story. You know, uh, you guys could go to Cutlass Cove, for example, help them rebuild. You know, you guys could do some actual building and have to go out into the world and find the materials. Or
Yeah.
Monday sells all their spider, crystal spider eye gems that they have. To buy resources, and you guys have a
I
certain
don't know what
amount
you're
to
talking
do.
about.
And
I feel like
that gets you guys X amount of resources to pull from to repair the place. It's all kinds of stuff we can do.
then also kind of helps our like role playing chops as well.
Oh
Help
yeah,
us get into the character, or you know, grow our character's personality more and stuff like that.
yeah, absolutely. Because
Rock
one thing,
chips and marked with his colors.
one thing I would like to incorporate more. I think part of what made the giant fight so fun was Rooster building the boom barrel launcher, but
Oh yeah.
only getting to do like a few pieces or each turn, et cetera, et cetera, and it had its own movement. I'd like to see you guys able to build more and like manipulate the world more, just in general. Because for example, like there was wizards that came in and they cast Wall of Stone, so you guys couldn't chase after them immediately, and like you being able to shape stone and like form a bridge and stuff like that. Um, I'd like to unlock more ways for you guys to be able to play Lego in K and K. So
It'd be cool maybe if there was like we discover some kind of like artifact that's called like the build the like the what are they called? Ah, the alchemist's like tool or something, and then it just allows us the ability to build, and then like a limited kind of thing, but something like that where like then we can incorporate like building things or building puzzles or something into like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
quests and stuff.
Or even just like simple stuff like you guys need to get up there and you build, a stone set of stairs. You know what I mean? Like anything like that. Like, um,
So,
yeah, because we are after all playing Lego. So, uh,
yeah.
Just
and
dive into Lego lore with master builders.
right, yeah, and even if we weren't in Lego, it doesn't take, you know, if I wanted to go down and put a piece of wood across the local stream, I could definitely do that.
Yeah.
I don't even I don't need any training. I can just get a piece of wood, throw it across the water. So yeah, I'd like to figure out a way to present more opportunities for you guys to get that in there as well. Which, um, as I mentioned, uh, I was gonna try and incorporate more for you, Remy, and for Trone's character Harry, to be able to do that. Part of my plan for that already is you found Roma's journal last time, and it's going to be a way for all of you to learn uh, force abilities, for lack of a better term. Um, because, as we're discovering, this entire world is connected in some way. Um, there's a a fabric throughout it, a code that connects you all, and you know, this may be some kind of almost video game scenario where there's an above world that exists, and maybe you guys are figuring out using Roma's journal how to manipulate the code, or use the Force, or magic, or and that's going to allow you to, you know, do these things. So, and thank you, Monday, for getting rid of that. That was, I'm pretty sure I know exactly who that was. They like to talk about hamburgers usually. Um, let's see. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. Um, if you guys don't have any other questions, and nor does chat, then we can do outros. And
Quick question.
yes, sir.
The mailboxes under the mailboxes have the tag encounter added to them.
Yeah, no, they always have. They are one of the items that in survival you have to discover out in the world in a treasure chest. The recipe, you can't just get it. One of the most frustrating things about survival, because they added that later. It wasn't there originally in the game, but they added it, and in order to for these things to pop up, it had to be at a place you hadn't visited.
Oh,
But
like the bunch of couches on top of the chest type thing.
yes, exactly that. Um, but because of the kind of player I am, I had already gone checking every single place looking for villagers, and so now there's like just I may never get the like large mailbox ever. So but yeah, that's for those of you watching in chat, that's how you know how to find your things in survival. If you've ever wondered why you get stuff in uh, sandbox that you don't get in survival, they're there. They're just hiding. um, but yeah, you guys want to roll the only initiative of the night to do outros, or throw fingers, or
I don't actually have my dice next to me. I didn't think we would need them tonight.
right on. We could PvP. First person down goes last. I don't know.
I got 16.
We're all so far away. I
Oh,
wish I was
alright.
next to everyone. I would just start throwing punches right now.
All right, Tron, give me a roll.
18.
18, and uh, Monday, pick a number between 1 and 20.
14.
14. All right. Trone wins initiative. Trone, lead us out, bud.
All right, guys. Welcome to just a chill stream that we had this evening, talking about K&K, what we've been doing over the last almost year now. Seeing some lore on the world and getting to answer some of our deep infelt questions. Always appreciate being able to be a part of this. It's kind of one of the things that keeps you going during the week, and I do appreciate that, hanging out with all you guys doing it.
Heck yeah, brother. Same, for sure. I know no matter, what happens at work or, whatever, who I got stuck behind driving home, that when I get home, there's K&K, and that's awesome, So, thank you, as always, for being here, and everybody make sure to check out Trone Gaming on YouTube. Playing a variety of games now, which is exciting. Baldur's Gate 3, which is the core mechanics of D&D, which we're trying to emulate here. And you're starting a LEGO Star Wars roleplay server, correct?
Yeah, I've been messing around with that for a little bit. I got the first 3 areas started off, a rough outline of kind of how I would like a story to go type deal, and it's open for anybody who wants to join.
Right on. You can find Trone at Trone Gaming, obviously, in his comment section, but if you were to join the Council of Bricks, exactly, we, a bunch of us, all of us in here actually right now, are in the server. We all have our own little showcase channels and our own little Russian doll discords within the larger Discord. So it's pretty fun. And so anybody's welcome to come join it. We've got a bunch of people in there. So many people, and many creators who have a similar setup as well. So.
Not to mention some people who've just returned recently to the game.
That's right. And some surprisingly big names that you wouldn't expect to hang out with little old me. So, yeah. Hopefully we will see you all there. If one of you wants to drop a link in the chat, there you're welcome to. And then Remy with 16.
All right. I want to say thank you, again for having me in Kaverns and Klombos and doing this. I kind of like these little interlude sessions where we discuss things and talk and just kind of like just share ideas and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you can find me streaming on Remy Lexington. Tomorrow, from 12 to 4, I'm a part of that Creators for a Cure, and I'm going to be streaming for a charity for type 1 diabetes. Cool. So that'll be between 12 and 4 tomorrow. Come on by, see, I'm going to be building a kind of like a vacation spot for Rufus the bear, who is the mascot of the charity, the type 1 diabetes charity.
Right on. So. That's I think Haskins is gonna part of that too, right? I hadn't even heard about it until I saw his post, and now where did you hear about the
Brave Bill's? I into his stream, and it's actually because his son has type 1 diabetes, so he was kind of chosen to be kind of like a I don't know, like a leader to his group charity thing. So he's he invited me to do it, and then he invited I guess a whole bunch of other people too.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah. I don't get out much, so I didn't hear about it.
I probably wouldn't have unless unless I popped into his stream.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, Richie, you're catching us right at the end. We did a Q&A. You're definitely welcome to join the Discord, obviously. and you can ask us any questions you would like there. I've got my own little section of the Discord with the Kaverns Klombos area. You know, feel free to tag us in anything you want to know. But yeah, Remy, that is awesome. So everybody, definitely check out Remy Lexington on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch. Are you on Twitter as well?
I am on Twitter, but I don't really post that often on that.
Right on.
All the socials, but I don't stream. Yeah, I don't stream on Twitter.
Yeah. So, is that like a donation thing, or they're gonna like
Yeah, they'll have
based on
donations.
views, or
No, I think it's just straight up donations. I'll
that's awesome.
mainly be streaming through Twitch, but so I'll have like a link pinned in that. But I also put up an overlay where there's like a little QR code in the corner that you should be able to scan, and it should take you to the page to donate as well.
Heck yeah, that's
So,
awesome.
you know, every little bit helps if you can. So,
What's the date for that?
Well, it's just gonna be tomorrow. I'm gonna be
Tomorrow,
tomorrow's.
okay.
Yeah, tomorrow. Was it the 14th, May 14th, and I'm gonna be do 12 to 4
Sweet.
p.m. Eastern time.
Heck yeah, it's an awesome thing. And you know, as mentioned many times before, I definitely appreciate you having you here. I'm glad you're a part of this whole thing.
Yeah, man.
So, but
I
that
like
will
being a
bring us.
playtester.
Yeah, right. It's almost like you can't even tell you're part of an experiment.
Yeah.
The electrodes plugged into your temples or what allow that to happen. You can't even tell. We neuralize your prefrontal cortex, so you can't even distinguish reality anymore.
I honestly think I'm a banana.
Yeah. I can't wait for us to get into our episodes that are like Star Wars related, because my Star Wars banana puns are next level. Like, it's gonna be great.
Sounds good.
But that will bring us to Monday Olives. Take us on out.
I'm Monday Olives, and you've been watching Caverns and Klombos live here on YouTube. You can catch us every Tuesday night from 8 to 10 p.m. at the Long Tom Lounge, where we bring you the best that LEGO Fortnite role-playing has to offer. Join us next week as we sort out the chaos, and possibly, no, we definitely won't. It will be pure and utter chaos. I'm back, baby. I'll be streaming Friday night create on a creative server where I'm just going to be building some crazy stuff. I had a bit of a period where life hit me hard, but I'm back in the saddle. I got some stuff coming up. All my major plans that I was working on before are kind of on hold for the moment, but I will be working on something special over the summer, and I hope you guys will join me for my live streams. And of course, you can always catch me here every Tuesday night.
Heck yeah, Monday. As Monday noted, Monday Olives on YouTube. New content incoming, which is exciting news. Definitely noticed your absence when you were transitioning, so it'll be good to have you back.
Yeah, it's been a couple crazy months, but I finally got things working out.
Heck yeah. And once you get situated, we'll have to take you on a personal tour to the Dragon so you can see all that, because I know you missed those episodes. So.
Oh yes, please. I actually did the recap after the episode with the big episode with the dragon, and it was probably the hardest recap I ever had to write, because the whole time I'm just like, I wish I was there.
Yeah, it was fun. One thing that got me about that episode is like, I had already like planned, like, okay, the dragon's gonna chase you guys back to, back to the base essentially, and the fear effect is gonna, you're not gonna be able to break it, and then the Onceler shows up on the unicorn, and breaks the fear effect, and I had all that obviously planned out ahead of time, But as we're doing it, Remy was like, "Oh, this reminds me of Lord of the Rings. You know, the scene where they're like all running away, and then Gandalf comes over the hill in the white horse." And I was like, "Hmm, hmm, 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 hmm."
That's
But
incredible.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, no, stuff like that even is great for me. You know, because obviously, you know, a lot of this is coming from other other sources of media, a lot of pop culture and stuff. And if I can set up a situation that like so, you know, like starkly reminds you of a movie, like then I did my job, you know. And so as much as it was like, darn it, he saw through it, I was like, yes, he knows what I meant. So, but yeah, I think that is gonna do it for us tonight. I'm Long Tom. This has been the Long Tom Lounge. We get together every week, Tuesday night, 8 to 10 p.m. for our version of Lego D&D. We like to call Caverns and Klombos. We're running around the world of Playwelia, learning the lore and fighting the baddies, and sometimes finding out we're the baddies ourselves. Um, but we always have a lot of fun. So we will continue our adventure next week. Like I said, I'll hit you guys up in Discord to see kind of what direction you're feeling like leaning towards. As always, I mean I've got a ton of stuff in the chamber. If I have to shoehorn an adventure in, I will. But I'd rather we keep going in the direction we've been. But yeah, thank you everyone in chat who came out, everybody in Remy's chat who came out to check out our little adventures here. And we hope to see you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. And yeah, Stonecore, good to see you out here as well tonight. For those of you who don't know, that's in the Discord, Kabuto Sushi, I believe is their name. But yeah, I guess now the only thing left to do is say goodnight, adventurers.
Good
Night,
night, adventurers.
I gotta tell you, that's my favorite part every week. All right, bye.